Good afternoon, good morning, good evening from wherever you guys are joining in from. Appreciate you guys jumping on. Last time we were having a lot more fun on our community call because we were in the middle of the Caribbean. Today I'm in my basement, which sucks. It's raining outside. But we appreciate you guys all jumping on, and we'll give this just a couple more seconds before people jump on. But we've got a lot of fun stuff happening with our company right now. A lot of really cool projects that we're working on, a lot of momentum, not only a lot of momentum in the market, a lot of momentum just in just all things crypto, Element United included. And so what we're going to do is we're going to kind of focus in. Some of our community calls tend to be a little broad where we're talking about a lot of things. So what we're going to do today is we're just going to talk about one thing. And maybe on the call in 2 weeks, we'll talk about the next thing. And then we'll just give you more specific updates on specific initiatives that we're working on. And so today we're going to, as you guys know, over the last couple of presentations, you've been hearing a lot more about our NFTs, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Specifically, we're going to talk about the Heirloom NFT. Some of you guys on this call were also on the cruise, and you got to see a presentation. And even last week, we talked a little bit about our Heirloom NFTs. And today we're going to get a little bit more specific: how to buy them, how to create them. I'm going to turn the time over to some of our team to go over how that works because I think this is the big push that we're going to be focused on, at least for the obviously we always have multiple things happening all at once, but we're going to get very specific with specific groups about products that we have, and the Heirloom NFT is fantastic. We've when you look at what's happening in the market right now with NFTs are hard to talk about, right? Because most people envision, first of all, they don't understand what a non-fungible token is. They don't understand how that relates to them. They think it's a picture of a monkey. They don't really understand how much utility and use that an NFT can actually have. And so we are trying to change that narrative a little bit. But we've kind of made the decision when we start talking about this to the broader public to probably not even use the word NFT, to just avoid that at all costs. Now, obviously, we can throw that word around freely with this group because most of you guys have at least some experience, or you've been exposed to different types of NFTs. A lot of you guys have a wallet. You understand how a lot of this stuff works. But as we expand what we're doing outside of the crypto community into the broader community, we need a good way of explaining what creating something digitally, having a digital counterpart, why would you do that? What is the purpose of that? What is the use of that? And we think that the best way to explain that is to personalize it, to say, okay, let me give you an example, right? If you had this thing and how do you know you bought it? How do you know that it's yours? Well, if you create a digital receipt for it, it allows, so we're trying to think of simple ways that we can start explaining what the real use of an NFT is. And so we're gonna talk a little bit about that today, about why would you want an NFT. And I'm going to just get over to my screen so I can start sharing here. Let's see. And
And I'd
so,
like to chime in for a sec. If you guys have
go
any
for it.
questions about the NFT, start putting them in the chat and we'll kind of do a Q&A at the end of any questions you guys have.
Yeah, that's thanks for doing that, Paul, because obviously we want you guys sharing this. We incentivize you guys to share what we're doing and what you're purchasing. And so you need to be able to talk about it in a very practical way as well. And so I guess the easiest way to talk about why would you want a digital version of a real world asset, or something physical. And the easiest way to talk about this is, well, consider it a digital receipt. That is like the base, most easy way for people to start connecting. Now, they might not be excited about having a digital receipt for something, right? They might go, well, who cares? Why would I need that? But that's just kind of how you open up the door and say, that's the base layer. That's the first thing that having a digital version of something can do, is to create something that's not physical, like so if you had a house fire, if you got robbed and someone stole your warranty or your insurance information or your receipt, at least you have something digitally that proves that this is yours, that gives you the opportunity to recover information about something specific. Or maybe someone steals your ring and they go and they try to sell it. There's going to come a time where you're going to need the digital version of that real world asset in order to sell something. And so, in some regards, we're really ahead of the curve. And sometimes selling something that's too far ahead of the curve turns people off. And so, you need to be able to talk about this heirloom NFT in ways that can serve people right now. And a lot of times, if you attach meaning or purpose to something that means a lot to somebody, like a wedding ring or a watch, or something that has personal meaning to them, something that has high value to them, then you can start talking about why would you want an NFT of something that you have right now. And so in our in the way we talk about it is first, let's just connect you to this real world asset digitally for practical purposes. Okay. Again, something that attaches the serial number, the who it's insured with, how much you paid for it, who did you buy it from, things that attach that to you digitally so that in the event you move and you lose it, or you have a house fire, or somebody steals your paperwork or whatever, things happen, people move and paperwork gets lost. You have something digital so that if, worst case scenario, you can go log on to somebody else's computer, access your wallet, pull up your NFT, and you can say, look, this belongs to me. It's attached to me. Here's all the information on it. Okay, great. Here's the insurance policy that I uploaded into the metadata of this NFT, or here's the warranty information. Oh, great. So that it links it to you. But what we are trying to do with this NFT, and again, I'm going to use the word NFT with this group, is we're trying to do more than that. We're trying to make it more than just a digital link between you and an item. We consider that kind of the present, right? That's because we are looking at an NFT that honors and recognizes the past, connects you in the present, and then tells your story into the future. So that's really where these NFTs can start to mean something. So if I'm buying a ring and I'm conscious of, I want to make sure that the gold in this ring, or that the diamond that's in this ring isn't a blood diamond, or the gold wasn't harvested unethically, or being mined by children. Eventually, these NFTs will be able to, as we build out the mines that we're working with and the supply chain through on the blockchain, eventually we'll have a better chance of linking the past, the diamond, everything to this NFT. Okay. Or even linking who you bought it from, where it came from, who did it belong to? Sometimes these things have been handed down. So we want to link the past to all of these things. And we're gonna show you again Amy's video of the NFT that her dad did. Some of you guys saw that last week. So the past needs to be recognized. Provenance, where did the raw materials, where did these elements come from? In addition to who did it come from? Who did we buy it from? Now the present is the things that we've been talking about. We can talk about the um, linking a serial number from a watch directly to you, or the warranty information, insurance information that links it to you in the present, shows that you are the owner of this. But really, where we think we can get a lot of movement is for the future. Not only for practical reasons, it'll allow you to easily sell this because you can show that you are the owner of it. But on more of an emotional level, you can you can attach story, you can attach images, you can attach other things that will live on long after you're gone, like what this thing means to you. So when I think of future, I think of maybe creating an NFT for my wife's wedding ring where I can tell the story of how I proposed. I can tell the story of how we met, and I can attach meaning and story to this NFT so that long after I'm gone, these things will be preserved digitally for my kids. And I gave this example last week to where, my dad's from Tonga, my mom's from England. I don't know much about my dad because, or his history, because in his culture, things were just passed along orally. So I have an oral history of some stories. Whereas my mom, because she's from England, there were a lot more records, there were a lot more things attached. My genealogy on my mom's side goes back really far. My mom's a Wallace. Her family came from Scotland. So there's this line. I feel like a lot of connection to my mom's side because there are things that link me to the past. Well, technology that's been developed over the last few years allows us for our posterity, to link them in a much more personal way. Now we can have these preserved videos and these preserved stories in a digital form, in an NFT that can live forever. And so those who come after us and who possess these real world assets can now have the story that's attached to it. I walked through my dad's house that he lived in Tonga, but I don't know anything about it. I don't know when he moved in there, where, I don't know anything about the story or anything with it. But now, because you can tokenize, you can create NFTs for basically anything. Now we can create some real value for our posterity, not only from a tracking and tracing and from a monetary side, but from that real personal connection. So these heirloom NFTs and the heirloom NFT digital jewelry box, every one of you guys should have one. We are encouraging all of you guys to buy one. If you want to just buy a single, we're selling it right now on our website for $100. You can create an NFT. If you want to buy the box that allows you to have 10 different items in this digital jewelry box, we're discounting that to $800. And we want every one of you to use these products. We want all of you guys to participate. I know a lot of you guys have already participated by buying nodes. Now it's time to participate by buying products, and we're going to come up with a cool incentive that we'll probably talk about at the end of this call, for participation. And so that's right now. This is what an NFT looks like. This is Amy's actual NFT. As you can see here, it contains a lot of data: when the watch was created, the maker, the model, a whole bunch of information. But as you can see there, she also included a video that you can play on YouTube. I'm not going to go to YouTube. I just have it saved here. I'm going to minimize or move my screen here, and I'm going to actually play her video. I think we played it last week, but some of you guys weren't on. I want you guys to see it. Can you guys still see my screen? Paul, can you see it okay?
Yeah, yeah, we can still see it.
Okay, so when I get rid of this, I'm going to play. Can you guys still see my screen? You can see my desktop,
Yeah.
my messy desktop that Paul always makes fun of. Okay, so I'm going to play Amy's video that's attached to her NFT.
This video is a timeline, a record of artifacts from my father's life. The words I speak are legacy, what I choose to honor him with. Together, they form the heart of this heirloom NFT. I've kept many things from my dad: his wood carvings, his tools, his park ranger badge, but I chose his watch for this NFT. As a child, I would curl into his workhorse arm as he lay on the floor, pillow under head, watching the evening news with Jennings, Rather, or Brokaw. That watch always on his wrist. In those moments, my world was both narrow and wide, measured in seconds that felt endless. The watch carries more than time, it carries ethos. My dad was first a family man, then a man of service and faith. A worker with quiet devotion, never teaching through lectures or conceited effort, but through ethic and endless, boundless curiosity. He lived what he believed, days beginning before dawn and ending long after dark, answering neighbors, tending to injured animals, pausing only in the hush of Sithrism, the wind whispering through trees as if the earth itself were scripture. He could build anything, fix anything with scraps, and if he didn't know how, he learned. He believed leadership was service, authority didn't need to be loud, it needed a steady spine. Kindness was key, names were the way in. And when he gave people a reason to love the park, he gave them a reason to protect it. Together, they kept those 1,100 acres immaculate. I hold on to his watch now because it held him, and before him, it held his own dad. It is the root of our family and a reminder of the moments against which I measure all else. But love for the earth doesn't come from sermons or speeches, but from walking slowly, noticing and listening. Quiet as pine smoke, warm as late night on bark, my dad's steadiness is still with me. This heirloom NFT honors that, an artifact of time, devotion, and quiet service, still ticking. It only reminds us that the trail doesn't end. It only circles back.
So we appreciate Amy allowing us to share that. And honestly, that's the power of what an NFT can have, and that's what we're trying to build. And as powerful as that is, I want you guys to all think about, maybe put in the comments right here, what would you NFT? Do you have something that means a lot to you? What would you want to create, and what's the story that you would tell? And Amy put a lot of time into that, but we're trying to make it so that everybody can produce something like that, even if it's just a simple audio recording from your phone telling the story. I think a lot of people will end up doing that, but as long as it's your story and it's something that you want your posterity to hear and to preserve. And so we're excited about this. We are excited to take this, to the masses, and we really want all of you guys to participate in this as well, and make it mean something, right? Let's redefine what an NFT is, so that when people think about an NFT, they think about preservation, they think about history, they think about maybe outside of verification, verifying that what they're wearing was mined ethically, that benefited mankind rather than exploited the environment and took advantage of disadvantaged people. So that's the narrative that we want to change. And we want to make sure that when people think of this heirloom NFT, that it has meaning, purpose, and not just utility. So that's where our big push is, and obviously we need the community to push this with us. We need everybody to talk about this, to talk to your friends about it, to send them our way, so that we can do this for other people. And so, obviously, if you look there, the second one down, that's the heirloom for 100, or the heirloom box for 800, and we are going to. Okay, we've been debating if we should give an incentive to get this thing a jump start, and that incentive would be, should we give out ELMT tokens when you buy the heirloom box, not for the NFT, the heirloom single voucher, but for the heirloom box, because it's a higher priced item. And so I say, for you guys who are on this call, for anybody that's going to see this update call until the end of October, right? Today's the 15th. So for the next 2 weeks, let's do it. Let's offer, we're kind of making this up as we go. So I don't know what that number is. Maybe my team can come and bail me out here and figure out what we do. But let's give away some ELMT with every heirloom box that you buy. And if you're part of Connect and you end up, selling one, we can incentivize you for selling them as well. But for now, we are going to turn the time over. I'm going to stop sharing. We're going to turn the time over to the team here to talk about how to do the NFT, not only how to buy it, but how to create one. Who wants to take that? Paul, is that you?
Yeah, I mean, I can do that. In the meantime, you can we do have some questions in the comments, and so you can start
Okay.
reviewing those, Scott. And
Yeah, I'll go over those while you're doing that.
so let me share.
The top. By the way, we're getting an update on the Coinbase listing today. So just so you guys know, let me answer that one because that's kind of a big topic. So the Coinbase listing is going through the Coinbase DEX, which is called Base. And once you're on Base, and so we've created the bridges between Element and Base. And then once you're listed with Base, then Coinbase picks up the listing. We've confirmed that, we verified that. So you will be able to find the ELMT token on not only the DEX, which is Base, but the centralized exchange, which is Coinbase. We have a call later today on an update. So the bridges are built, that part is done, and they've just been testing the bridge. Anytime there's ever like a hack into to a project or to a coin, it's through the bridge. And so we've been testing relentlessly the bridge to making sure there are no deficiencies or no weaknesses. And so as soon as the team feels comfortable with that the bridge is where it should be, then we're going to start bridging, and then we're going to start creating the liquidity pools. But that is, from what I was told yesterday, we're getting an official update later today. But for what I was told yesterday is that it's days away. So how many days? I don't know, but hopefully we were now initially what got us in hot water is we were told you can announce this to everybody that it's going to be live by the end of August. So we did. We told everybody end of August, and then the dev team after the call said we have to do extensive testing on this. You should not have said that. Now, I didn't. I passed on what I was told by, you know, the chief, and so, but it's all for to make sure that it's safe. But that is 100% happening. It's not a hey, we hope. It is happening and it's coming soon. So an update later today as far as like how many days, but unfortunately I don't have that right now. Let's see. Your engagement ring is 200 years old. That's unbelievable. You are the perfect candidate, Connie, for a to have an NFT. That's incredible. Let's see. NFTs available off the so as far as the availability of NFTs, we can create them now. So we're ready to go now. That NFT that you saw there of um, Amy's, that's live. It's in her wallet. It's done. And so we're doing all the leadership right now is creating their NFTs. So you'll see all of our own NFTs up there soon, but you can get on and order now. As far as like how many days to fulfillment, I'll get an update, but it's quick. It's a pretty quick turnaround time right now. Now, once we go to the masses and we're doing hundreds of these a day, the turnaround time will be a lot longer until we staff up to make sure everybody knows how we have a team that can bang these out. But right now, it'll be pretty quick. Apple Watch, that's fantastic. Creating NFTs or dad's Sunday school shoes, that's a really great idea. Paul, let's see. I need Paul in my life. We all need Paul in our life. When it's on decks, you can see it through the sex, but actually listen. Yeah. So we've been told that once you see it on the sex, that it is on there. So I'll get more information. But we have been told we before we told people that it would be on Coinbase, we had legal. Some of you guys know our like John on our legal team research it to make sure it will be on Coinbase, and we came back with yes, it will be on Coinbase. So, all right, Paul, go ahead and take it away. Show, show
Yeah.
people how to buy and how to create if you can get that far.
Yeah. You can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. So as Scott has already mentioned, you can go, if you do have a Connect account, you can go just log into your account, go to shop, and you can see it right in here, and you can, buy these heirloom NFTs and the heirloom boxes right here as well. On the Element side, you can log into your Element dashboard and go to store, and we have the heirloom voucher NFT right here. We do need to add the box in here, but we'll work on that. And as you can see, you just go through, click how many you want, and you can purchase with your USD or cash or your Ethereum. Once you do purchase it, you're going to get an email notification. And it'll take you to actually this Google form where you will start entering in all that information. Obviously, I do recommend kind of gathering all of your information before you kind of go to the intake form. I mean, you can go to this and kind of like figure out all the different things that you're going to need to fill out, but definitely try and get as much of that stuff ready to go before filling all this out. But there's just sections, and as you can see, it's just kind of self-explanatory of all the different things you're going to need. It will take a minute. Then once you do have all this filled out, it's actually going to send you a copy of it back to your email, so then you can review it before it's actually minted. So there's a review process. So just in case you made a mistake or anything or catch anything, it can still be fixed. Yeah. And once it is minted, it's going to show up obviously in your NFTs right here in your NFT collections. Let's see, Does anybody have questions on like what they can NFT or because on the cruise we did have a number of people saying like, hey, can I do this and can I do this? And it is pretty flexible. It's pretty open. I mean, it really is just like Scott mentioned, a digital copy of anything you really want to keep, as a keepsake. It doesn't necessarily have to be just jewelry or, specific item. It can be really anything that you just want to even have a backup of. As Scott mentioned, like worst case scenario, your house catches on fire and your documents are all burned up. It can be whatever it is you need or want. Um, let's see. Uh, Amy, do you have anything else to add in? Or Scott?
No, no, but can we, so we're going to do, how do we get a record of everybody who's on this call? Because we're going to come up with a promo for people if they buy that uh NFT heirloom box, the one for 800. And I want to, because we're going to figure it out. I don't think we'll have it figured out by the end of this call, but we are going to reach out to you guys and give you some incentive by the end of the month. Um, is there a way to get everybody's
Yeah.
info on here? Do we have a record of everybody that joined
Yeah, yeah. I can pull the list.
and a way to like make sure we contact everybody?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Then that's what we're going to do. So we're going to stay focused. We're going to stay focused just on this. Um, and yeah, and so we want everybody to get out there and push. Are any of you guys on this call part of Connect? Just put a yes in the comments if you are. And if not, okay, so Connie, yes. Okay, oh, good. Several of you guys. One, two, three, four. Stacy, John, Roberta,
Manager did
almost
ask another
everybody. Okay,
question.
good. Okay, good. Okay, so then we have a good way of getting the promo out there if you're already in Connect. So stay tuned. I
I
guess
did want to say that we are going to do a lot of support, helping people out build their NFTs. So if
Yes.
they have any questions or gosh, if they need help building a video or putting anything together, if they're curious and on how to put a story together, they just really want to, I don't know, bounce some ideas off of us. Yeah, we were just really eager to help people put their little masterpiece together.
Yes, thanks for mentioning that, Amy. I do plan on building out some templates for you guys to use and kind of building out a page of like different options of what you can do on helping you with that side of stuff. Scott, Andrew did have another question if you did want to answer that.
yeah. So Andrew, you can go directly to our website. Where do if he's not part of Connect, Paul, what's the
Well,
best
he's
place to send it?
asking when do we think we can start using ELMT to buy our NFTs?
Oh, oh, are we set up to do that? Well, you know what? We're trying to focus using ELMT on gold and silver right now. Eventually, it's a good question. Eventually, yes, you'll be able to buy everything with ELMT. Right now, we're trying to get everybody, jumpstart the buying of gold and silver just using the NFT. But we'll talk about that, and we'll have an answer for you on the next call.
Yeah. Thank you, Scott.
Okay. Internationally, depends where, Connie. When can you purchase? It depends what Australia. Have we shipped to Australia?
Um, yeah, I actually have.
Okay, so Connie, for you now.
So yeah,
Yes, Osmint is still good. We met with Osmint this week, had a great call. In fact, we were just waiting to talk a little bit. We're going to be doing two press releases a week starting probably next week, and the Osmint press release is one of the first ones we're doing.
yeah,
And so
yeah,
yeah, we're going to be doing the press release on Osmint 250 and a whole bunch of other great stuff, but we're going to be releasing that press release style to kind of in conjunction with a greater marketing plan to kind of get the word out about Element to the masses. So Cool. All right. So I think, are we good? Is that everybody have all their questions answered, that you know where to go to buy and how to do this? And so since most of you guys are part of Connect and we have everybody's contact information, we'll come up with a good promo to definitely incentivize you guys to take advantage of this. Okay.
Great.
Thank you guys. That's all we got. Appreciate you guys showing up.
Okay. Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, guys. All right. See ya.